Hello, this is Gray Hughes. Thank you for joining me today. This is a new episode of Personal Paranormal. This is episode number 2, titled Begone, Shadow Man, experienced by Paul Yowler. Now, Paul is a member of the Facebook group Personal Paranormal, where he told his story like so many others, and I create a folder for each story, and we chat about it back and forth. He uploads images. People will upload their images for their story, and then I create a folder, and then we do an interview, and then I create a documentary-like video of their personal paranormal story. Okay, so let's get started on this episode of Personal Paranormal with Paul Yowler.
All right, well, basically, I guess I consider myself just kind of an average, everyday guy, regular job, wife, 2 kids, dog, or had a dog. She's passed away now. And I never really gave too much thought into paranormal type activities and stuff. I kind of attended church infrequently, mainly Easter, Christmas Day service, or day before, just the holidays and stuff. I guess my story would start really with saying the house that I'm still currently in, we bought it in July of 2013. To my knowledge, I believe it was built in 67. It may have been 69. I didn't actually go and check, but I know it only had 2 previous owners, the original owners from the 60s, and then the people that we purchased the house from in July of 2013.
Hey, Paul, do you know any history regarding this house?
Well, yeah, according to my neighbor, the original owner, he was a botanist and worked for Zoo Atlanta. So he was responsible for I guess, all the crazy trees and plants and stuff that was there. I don't know if it's still there now, but at least back then, he did that. And I will say, too, that in our backyard, we do have quite a few crazy trees. There's some, I don't know the names of them, but I know that there's leaves on them that are bigger than my head. In the back of our house, there's footprints from the people that originally bought the house. And it has, mom and dad, 3 kids, a dog, and a cat, like footprints in the concrete. And that says 69. I'm pretty sure again though that they had bought it a couple years before. So anyways, when we bought the house and we moved in, pretty much immediately, I'd say 2 or 3 days once we moved in, I started hearing just kind of strange noises. And I'll preface this with saying, before we moved here, we lived in a brand new townhome, and I never really had to deal or mess with anything in the houses before. But some of the strange things that we see or hear, I guess I'll start with hearing, in the house was what sounded pretty much like human-type footsteps on our roof. The house does have an attic. It's small. It's a kind of a ranch-style house, so it's pretty loud. There was a couple times, too, that my wife was even like, that sounds like there's something on the roof. Go and check it out. I have looked in the crawl spaces, I've looked in the attic, and then I've even taken the flashlight and gone outside in the middle of the night sometimes and shined it up in the roof to see, this giant possum or something crawling on the roof, but would never see anything. Other times I would hear coming like our hallway, just like the floor. It would almost sound like someone's walking, but not like thumps. It'd just be kind of like the wood would kind of snap and pop. But it would be like 2 or 3, and it would get like closer, almost like it coming down a line towards you. There'd be multiple times where, we were just sitting down, watching TV, or I'm a night owl. and I watch a lot of TV. But you hear just like, pop, 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 pop. And it would kind of get, or squeak, pop, whatever. And it would kind of get louder, almost like someone's walking down the hallway.
Basically like a creaky floor sound, right?
Yeah, yeah. And, I've always been skeptical, like I said. So I would chalk that up to being, hardwood floors. They're old, expanding, contracting as, it's hot in the summertime and you got the air going inside the house. So it's going to make some noise. So that's always pretty much happened from when we moved in throughout my experiences. Then I guess I would say probably about a year and a half later, right around 2015, we had a dog the whole time too, and she would always stay downstairs. She was an English bulldog, and I guess they're slower kind of dogs. They don't like to go up and down the stairs, and my daughter's bedroom's downstairs, so she'd just hang out down there all the time. But her room was pretty much like the kids' playroom, and just out of the blue, she started barking. And she would bark at night, and I'd go downstairs, and she wouldn't be at the steps. She could kind of come and go if she wanted to, or she could go into my daughter's room, but she would always be kind of looking at this wall next to a window, and she'd just bark. So I'd always get her to stop, and probably once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week that would happen. Most of the time it was at night too. There would be some times where it would be during the day, but I'd say 90% of the time it happened at night. So I'd always run downstairs, try to get her to stop because I didn't want her to wake my daughter up. Never really thought too much of that at the time. I kind of just thought, oh, well, maybe she is starting to get a little old. Bulldogs only have like a 8-year life expectancy. Or maybe since it is kind of the basement or a little bit below ground, maybe she's hearing something inside the wall squeaking or something. I don't know. But it was strange, but it was nothing that really still alarmed me too much. That would keep happening. So every once in a while, it sounded like something was on the roof, more like louder thuds would happen, and the pops and stuff would still happen all the time with the heartbeats. Then one day, I want to say, I'm pretty sure it was in the fall time. But she was barking, and I went downstairs, check on her, and we have kind of a little L-shaped couch down there, and there's some pillows on it. It's like like a big pillow, a small pillow, a big pillow, a small pillow that kind of goes around it. And the pillows were on the ground. So I was like, oh, she was on the couch and knocked them off, and now she's barking. She wants to play. She wasn't really like jumping around or nothing much, but I was like, all right, play with her for a little bit, and then put the pillows back up. Now, like I said, the way they're set up, it's like a big pillow and a small pillow, a big pillow, small pillow. And the big pillows are in the back, and then a little small pillows in front of it, kind of holding it back. So once I put them all back, and then I'd pretty much almost right away, I put it back, put the little pillow on top of the big. I turned to go back out of the room, and it's like as soon as I took one step, the white pillow had like hit me in the back of the calf. And it was a little weird. I did feel kind of eerie because I was like trying to play it back in my mind. Did I put them on differently, or did I just barely put it on? Was I in a rush and it turned? But it was like, no, I had them on there the right way. And it's strange that the bigger one would like basically slide out. So I could explain it because the little pillow was still on the couch, like slide out and be on the ground. So I don't know. It was weird for sure. So after that had happened, nothing else really happened for a while. Still the dog barking at the wall, sometimes at night. Still me going down there. Still every once in a while noises on the roof and cracks. But that was pretty much it. It was quiet for a while. Otherwise, but then the biggest and the strangest thing happened fall again. I want to say October, November-ish, 2016. And that was the first time I had seen something. I was up late at night. Yeah, like the usual. I'm watching all kinds of stuff. Our den kind of TV room is it's like sunken in. So I was watching TV. I fell asleep on the couch. Directly behind the couch is an elevated area. That's where our kitchen is, and then it goes back off into the rest of the house. like a typical ranch would, long hallway, doors off of each, area. So I'm asleep. I wake up because I hear what sounds like steps and pops again, and I'm like, I'm like, somebody's walking down the hallway. TV's still on, and I see just to the left of the TV on the wall, like a very tall, dark shadow. Looks like just a regular person shadow. I'm still, somewhat asleep, but it's definitely there, close to the TV, and it's right there. I see it. I stand up, and I turn and look behind me towards the kitchen to see, all right, my wife's probably walking down the hallway, because many times she'll come in and she'll say, hey, wake up, come to bed. But there was nobody there. So I turned back, like, what was that? And I still see the shadow, but now it's moving over to the left, like a normal person shadow would be walking, and it's going to the left. And it just kind of disappears into the corner. It's almost like it just like walked into the corner, and when it went to the corner, it didn't then project onto the sidewall. It just kind of went into the corner and was gone.
Now, was the shadow's head on the ceiling at all, or just on the wall a little bit above the TV of the show?
It was on the wall, probably a foot and a half above the TV. I mean, it seems, if I were to guesstimate a height here, maybe 9 foot in total.
Wow. And the feet were right on the wall too, and the head was, so basically just from the ground almost all the way to the ceiling, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a tall, slender shadow, almost like if you were to have a light source at your back and look at your shadow. I mean, it's like it's taller than you are, but
it fit right onto the wall, though. There's no ceiling action and no ground action.
No.
Huh.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, that made my hair stand up. I was like, I saw something. So I was like, okay, was somebody at my side door? The blinds are shut. Let me turn on the lights outside. Let me look. Is anybody outside? Well, if the lights are off, then why am I seeing it? Why did I see a shadow? Was somebody else up? Did one of the kids get up? So I was up pretty much the rest of the night, looking, trying to duplicate what I had just seen. Like, where the hell did that come from? Where was this light that would make something right there? Yeah. Even still, like, if I put my hand out, I almost feel like my fingers want to start shaking a little bit. It was definitely a strange experience, and I didn't tell my wife about it. I was like, she's gonna be like, you just keeping your ass up at night, and you're probably watching something, and it got in your head. I don't know, but I stand by. I definitely saw something, and it was strange for sure. After that, again, a little bit of time went by without anything happening. It was probably 3, maybe even longer. I don't know. That's why I'm hesitant to put dates and stuff on things, because I don't want to like misspeak. Probably February, maybe January time frame of 2016. Or no, 2017. The dog was barking again, and so went down steps. I took about 3 or 4 steps down, and that is, I should say too, we keep a light on down there for her, because she likes to have a light on. So I take a couple steps down the stairs, and I see basically just to the side and moving pretty fast, like downwards, almost like towards the ground, like something is moving away from the stairs. A shadow again that looks like a person, and then like directly, like as soon as the one kind of goes down, there's like a second that kind of like starts up again and goes down. Almost if like a car's headlights hit something, and you see like a shadow move, and then that second headlight hits it, and you see that shadow move again. It kind of looked like that, but they both kind of went to the left and down in towards the wall, or towards the floor. So as soon as I saw that, and still looked definitively to me like a person's silhouette, I stopped. And I was like, hell no, I'm not dealing with this again. It's daylight. I'm seeing, crazy things here. I'm not going downstairs.
Wow. So at that landing, you can see that landing area, and there's stairs that go to the right and left, right? I can't tell.
Yeah, to the right is my daughter's. It's like a little mud room area, and then it's my daughter's room, and then the bathroom, and then to the left is just a big playroom and laundry room.
Right, and so the shadows both went down to the left side.
Yes.
And they too did not hit the floor or the ceiling. They were just on the wall, right?
Yeah, on the wall to the left of like our window, and
right.
It kind of looked like it went. They kind of looked like they were like sinking into the floor, kind of like almost like something was walking away from the stairs. Like if something was at that corner of the stairs and walking away and around that corner, it just kind of went smaller down real fast.
But only on the wall though, right? Like kind of like what it did in the living room. It went into the corner, but not on the other wall. These ones went down below, but not on the floor. That's weird.
Yes. So it shook me up enough to where I was like, to our dog, I was like, sorry, precious, you're on your own. I came back up the stairs, shut the door, and I was like, I gotta talk to my mom about this. She's a very religious lady. She's a member of the church. It's been going all the time, and I think that might also be kind of the reason why I kind of, to some extent, rejected going all the time, because she'd always, we're going to go and do this, and but I was like, I think you need to tell her, so I was like, called her up, Mom, what are you doing? Hey, let me talk to you. I've been seeing and hearing things, and it's kind of freaked me out a little bit, and she's pretty nonchalantly just kind of gave me the whole, sounds like, you got some evil spirits and stuff in your house, and sometimes if you listening to or doing certain things, or people that had the house before you, or even the people prior to that, or whatever, if some things that ever happened in that house, it can open doorways, and she started getting into it all. Anyways, the bottom line of it all was, she was like, I'm going to come over and bless your house. And she showed up, had a little vial of anointing oil, and she went around to the doors of the house and touched the top and the bottom with the oil on her finger, and then went into the house, went into each room and prayed and basically rebuked the evil spirits out. And I felt calm about it, and I don't know if it's just kind of a son being like, hey, Mom's here to help, but I felt good. And ever since then, nothing's happened again.
So no more roof thuds, no thuds on the roof, no creaking on the floor that's unexpected or anything like that, right?
Huh. Yeah. So that's changed my outlook on things a lot. I, my wife and I and our kids, we go to church every Sunday now. And I'm sure maybe somebody that might be listening to this might roll their eyes and say there's still logical explanations for everything. But this is just for me. This is what worked for me. This is how I felt. And this is, something that opened my eyes. And there's things out there and in this world and other realms, or whatever you want to call it, that is there, and it's true, and we can't explain. But this is something that happened to me, and, I believe it.
Yeah, the thing is it's the people who actually witness these things that they'll always know, but it's so fantastical for the rest of us who haven't witnessed it that it's hard to believe. But the thing is, these things really happen to people, and that's why I thought it'd be interesting to start letting people tell their stories and see if there's some overlaps and things that are some commonalities. And wow,
yeah, I mean, I'm interested in hearing what other people have. And like I said, there's some people that in the group, the Facebook group, that they said that they're hearing things or that they're seeing things in the woods and stuff. And I'm no longer a person that's going to judge somebody. There's always going to be people that try to say, this is the rationale behind it, or this is the reason why this happens. And it may be true, but I'm not the expert, and I just want to hear other people's stories. And like you said, see if there is a commonality and see what also may relate to me.
Yeah. Now I will be somebody who say if they see a face in the grain, if they see a face in the grain of wood, I'm going to rebuke it, or I am going to not allow it because I'm looking at it. I see the face they're talking about, but it's literally just looks like a face in wood, but it's not the killer. Okay, so
people have a habit of seeing faces. That is true.
Right. Well, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. And
thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Well, there you have it. That is the second episode of Personal Paranormal, Begone Shadow Man Experience by Paul Yowler. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did. When I was done making the episode and done interviewing Paul, I had a sense that he actually did experience what the video was about. He actually experienced it. And I find that really interesting. Okay, now if you'd like to support my channel, please do so using the links in the description, PayPal or Patreon. And when I do live videos, you can always contribute using Super Chat. I really appreciate all of your support. Okay, so this is the second episode, and until the third episode's out, everybody, be safe out there.